What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the Backpacking Podcast. As always, John Kelly here with Jeremiah Stringer, and we are brought to you by Outdoor Vitals. Jeremiah, what makes Outdoor Vitals gear so good?
Because they're performance first ultralight gear.
That is the truth. And right now, they are bringing out a brand new piece of gear that personally I'm a huge fan of, and that is the Skyline jogger pants. Have you checked these things out yet, man?
Yeah, we got our hands on them early there. They sent us some pairs and a ton of awesome features.
Yeah, the thing I really like about them, I'm going to see if I can get these up on the screen because I just tried to, and for some reason it showed our show notes instead. But one of the things I've really liked about these, and let me see if I can pull these up so people can see these, they have all kinds of great venting down the sides and in the back. They're fantastic because they're extremely comfortable. They're extremely lightweight. You could hike in these things easily, especially on a hot summer day if you want to wear pants that aren't going to weigh you down and aren't going to cause you to get too awful sweaty and nasty, but you'll keep the bugs off. You won't get chewed up by plant life that has thorns and thickets and all that fun stuff in it. Fantastic pants. Fantastic pants.
Let me say one thing about them. The top three features: breathability, packability, and quick drying, because they are so vented. So if that's what you're looking for, these are the trail pants for you.
Oh, they're fantastic. So go check them out over at OutdoorVitals.com. And thank Outdoor Vitals for making this show possible, because they have been a fantastic sponsor for us. So thank you to Outdoor Vitals. Jeremiah, we should get to some of the answers from last week's poll that we posted.
Yeah, let's take a look at them. And I will mention, if y'all want the quickest way to check out those pants, click the show notes, or if you're on YouTube, just look in the description and you can click through and check those out. You can even get a Live Ultralight membership if you want to get a little discount on them.
Absolutely. So we've got several people that shared with us their redemption hikes. One of the ones on the Spotify Q&A that we had out was from Imframpa. That's a heck of a name. I missed a trip to the Foothills Trail 2 or 3 years ago, but my group is heading back in October. Looking forward to get to part of it. So I'm with you. The Foothills Trail was one of my redemption hikes. So that's a great one. Jeremiah, what other comments have you seen out there?
I see another one for Savage Gulf by Logan Crawford, which I thought Logan usually is a YouTube watcher, but I could be wrong. Looks like checking out on Spotify. 3 of us, they had a backpack failure, and one couldn't do the daily mileage. Backpack didn't fit. 90 degrees and muggy. That's what it felt like yesterday here. And severe storms moved in with tornadoes as they left. That sounds like a nightmare backpacking trip.
That sounds miserable. Like, first off, you're sweating constantly. You know how it is at night, like when you're camping in that weather, and you're just so sweaty and gross, it just takes forever to fall asleep because you can't get comfortable. And then you throw in tornadoes.
Yeah. The winds get me, man. I'm scared of that wind out
there. Yeah, especially if you're in a hammock.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Yeah, something about it.
No, it's terrible. So here's another one from Tony Babcock. This might be my favorite one. It says, is it considered a redemption hike if you plan to go on 3 separate occasions and haven't made it out the front door? He said, blizzard, COVID, norovirus. Tackling the Centennial Trail as part of the OV100.
Wow. OV100 failed.
Oh, man. Outdoor Vitals 100, which I am taking a part in this year. And I think several people should look at it for next year. It's just a great opportunity to get out there and hike some big miles. But, man, can you believe that?
What's
norovirus?
Well, here, I don't even know what that is.
Well, here, I'm gonna look it up, and I'm gonna read you the definition.
Okay. Yeah, I've never heard of it. Blizzard, I get. COVID, I get. We all lived through that. But noro, no idea.
Norovirus is the leading cause of vomiting and diarrhea and foodborne illness in the United States.
Must have had some tainted chicken or something.
Maybe. Is it
that's
contagious?
salmonella.
Wow, norovirus is contagious from the moment they begin feeling ill to at least 3 days after recovery. Some people may be contagious for as long as 2 weeks after recovery. Therefore,
Tony
Good hand washing is important. So there you
And
go.
what get it from food
I guess so.
or other people?
Let's see. It is a person with norovirus touches surfaces with their bare hands. Food, water, or objects that are contaminated with norovirus are placed on surfaces. Tiny drops of vomit from a person with norovirus spray through the air, landing on surfaces or entering another person's mouth. That's how you can get it.
I
That's
got you. Well,
disgusting. So, like, basically, if you eat someone's puke,
who's doing that?
I don't know. That's the weirdest thing I've ever read in my life. So there you go. So don't eat people's puke, people. Don't do it. It's a bad idea. Okay, so we got some more comments on here.
Yeah, I got Woodall Trails, 5'10" and 220, but used to be 420 pounds. Yep, that's gonna make backpacking really tough whenever you weigh that much, because you're having to lug all that weight around. 2.5 years ago, so they've lost the weight because they made the decision to do bariatric.
200 pounds, man. That's a lot of weight to lose.
Yeah, in only 2.5 years as well. That's really quick because I lost 100 pounds. It took me like 18 months.
Yeah.
And it also says it was one of the best decisions ever made. And now they love the outdoors, hunting and fishing, and can do 20-mile hikes. So congratulations to you, John, because they said that they know you're losing weight as well.
Yeah, man, that's inspiring. You know what I mean? That's really inspiring. He said, and he's only been doing this a year now, so he doesn't have any redemption hikes, but he wants to do a 50-mile hike next year. That's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. Let's see. We've got another one. Let's do one more of these. This one's my redemption hike is Upper Creek Falls in the Linville Gorge area. This is LVC 7313. She said, every time I've attempted this hike, an extreme amount of rain made it not possible. I step on the trail and the rain appears. So, in Linville Gorge, man, that's some challenging hiking. There are some like Shortoff Mountain. You ever hiked up that?
No, we drove up it and parked at the top, luckily.
Oh my gosh, dude. I hiked up that thing and I got up there and I was like, man, I didn't know it was going to be, because I didn't really look at the elevation. I was like, I'll go up there and hike this. It's just a shorter hike. I get up there and then I look at the elevation and like, it's this. It's just switchback. And there's no shade. And I think it was 90 degrees out that day.
Oof. Man, that sounds terrible backpacking weather.
I will say it was nice when I met Mike Kirkpatrick up there. What was his?
Oh, really?
Yeah, MK Ultra. I met him. I was up there and I had a nice little campsite there, and there's a bunch of firewood and stuff, and I didn't need it because it was too hot for firewood. But this random guy comes over in the morning and goes, "Hey, man, just want to let you know I love your videos, blah, 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 blah." And I'm like, "Oh, thanks." And he goes, "Do you know MK Ultra?" And I'm like, I mean, I don't know him, but we've messaged back and forth a little. He goes, "Well, he's camping with me right now. You want to come meet him?" I was like,
"Oh, I thought you were going to say I'm him."
No, I would have recognized him. But I go over and he was still in his hammock, so I woke him up.
Oh, was he doing okay?
Oh, he was great, man. We had a great conversation. Like, he opened his eyes and goes, "Well, hey." You know how it is, man. Like, a lot of us who do the YouTube thing, it's just kind of almost like a brotherhood kind of thing. It's like you can talk to any of them, and it's pretty simple. It's pretty easy. But that was a fun trip. I actually met Taylor McDonald down there, and got a chance to hike with him a little bit and check out part of Linville Gorge. So,
another great guy.
Great guy. Massive calves. We were
Yeah.
Dude, we're calf brothers. I'm telling you. We're both like, we're like Calfzilla 1 and Calfzilla 2. I mean,
he runs a lot.
He's a legit guy, man. He's a legit guy.
I Googled the Upper Creek Falls. I'm looking at them now, and it looks freaking sweet, dude. It's like a super, super long waterfall. And I see the second picture on here. It's from Romantic Asheville, and it's somebody swinging from a rope at the base of the falls. This looks awesome, dude.
Well, I think we just found a new place to check out, didn't we?
Yeah, I've been over to Linville Gorge, but I don't think I ever got to see the Upper Creek Falls. Yeah. It is beautiful over there.
Yeah, I want to go back down there and take a few days. It was really just 2 days I was down there. I didn't really get a lot of time to spend down there, so I would love to go down and actually spend like 3 or 4 days because it seems like there's tons of area down there to check out, and it's
Yeah, I'm
beautiful.
sure it's kind of like Red River Gorge, Linville Gorge. You can go there probably 100 times and not see everything you want to see because there's fingers you can walk out to for those chimneys.
Yeah,
That
that
was
went to the
awesome.
chimneys. That was cool.
You got that whole bottom area that you could check out.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to
Yeah,
do
it's
it.
awesome.
I got to get back down there because that's a really cool area. Plus, I went to a restaurant with Taylor after we got done,
Mhm.
and they have an entire table that is the Shug table,
What
and
does
they've
that
got
mean?
like Shug, the YouTuber.
They have an entire table called the
That
Shug table.
it's got a picture up of Shug on the wall taking
What?
pictures with people from the restaurant because he's been there so many times,
Yeah.
and so we ate at this restaurant and it was really cool. Like there's Shug up on the wall.
The Shug Shrine.
The Shug Shrine is right there in that restaurant, so it was pretty cool.
Oh my gosh. Remember when we had Shug on and Jason wanted to come on and be on the episode?
I do remember that. I remember he
Yeah,
was
that
like starstruck the entire time.
well, it's easy to do with Shug, but, whenever we go back, I didn't even know about this restaurant. I'll have to tell Jason so that we can
I
go
wish I
check
could.
that out.
Yeah, I wish I could remember the name of it, but yeah, it was great. It was just home cooked food, you know. So yeah, they had a Shug Shrine, which is pretty cool. So Jeremiah, what I want to do right now, I want to take the next few weeks and I want to talk about our big three. Like I don't want
Mhm.
to talk. I don't want to say. I don't want to talk about big three in general. I literally want to talk about the gear that you and I use as part of our big three, um, and maybe some gear that maybe we're thinking about switching to or using in the future. But I want to start off this week talking about our backpacks,
Mhm.
specifically our backpacks. Jeremiah, so I'm going to let you go first, and I want you to tell me about the backpack that you use most often when you go backpacking. And is there a backpack that you're wanting to check out or use moving forward?
Yeah, I also think it's important for us to talk about the, specific accessories that you could add to your backpack. I don't know what you have
Yeah.
hanging and dangling, but there's a lot of ornaments.
Mm-hmm.
So, right now, I'm using the Hyperlite. I think it's called the Southwest 70, but I thought it was called something else whenever I bought it, like Southwest 34,000 or 3,400 or something. So,
Yeah.
uh, that's me. I think, the essentials are probably cell phone holder and water bottle holder. So, my backpack, the main issue, and this is the issue with a lot of other backpacks, is it's hard to get the water bottle. Like if you're reaching behind you,
Yep.
that could just be a flexibility issue for me.
It could
But
be my midget
this back
arms that I have that I can't reach behind. I can never like I just can't I can't reach when I reach
well,
back
my
there.
problem is I can overreach. I think my arm's too long, so when I reach
Now
behind,
you're just
I
showing
can't.
off. Now you're just showing off.
No, you need an in-betweener arm,
So what you're saying is we're
not too
both
long.
cursed. You're cursed with like ape arms and I'm cursed with hobbit arms, is what you're saying.
Yeah,
You're
there's
you're
nothing you
like a
can do.
gorilla and I'm a T-Rex.
I think orangutan,
Right.
more like an orangutan, yeah, with the
I would say with
orange
the red
hair,
hair it fits perfect. Yeah.
yeah, the long dangly arms. But anyway, yeah, that's my backpack right now. The biggest issue is probably that I can't reach. Other people probably can because the pocket's not in a bad position, and also there's no place to strap my chair to it. So
Mm.
I don't know what Hyperlight's doing over there. If they're expecting you to buy a 70-liter chair and then not bring or a 7-liter backpack and then not bring a chair. I mean, who's wearing a 70-liter backpack but not bringing all kinds of luxury gifts? I
I
mean,
know that's a
luxury items.
huge backpack.
Yeah, so I need a place to strap my chair. But that's my go-to right now. You need a water bottle holder, you need a cell phone holder, and I tell you, dude, I'm full of danglies here. I got a towel on one side so you can wipe the sweat, one of those pack towels.
Usually have hand
Hand side,
sanitizer. Yeah, I was say you have hand sanitizer, don't you?
hand sanitizer on one side. You also need your Garmin there. And if you're doing camera work, I know some people are getting anxiety right now,
Camera
but
clip.
if you do yeah, you need a camera clip on there as well, which I don't typically use. I just use my phone. So yeah, and one last thing, if you're not using your buff, you also tie it up here on your shoulder around the load lifter strap that you pull forward.
I think Carl Mandrioli is going to have a heart attack listening to this.
Yeah, and don't
I think
put bear bells on there.
no. No. If you're hiking with other people, you're talking anyways. So the bears will
Yeah.
hear you. They'll hear you. So what backpack are you interested in possibly using in the future?
Well, Outdoor Vitals, where we work with them, they've sent me a couple of packs that I need to try out. So this last trip, the CS40, I was like, I'm going to take this CS40. And then I grabbed it and realized I'm wanting to bring way too much stuff on this solo trip to fit it into this CS40. Like I had a lantern, I had a speaker, I had a tripod, I had camp shoes. I had all kinds of extra stuff that you absolutely don't need.
What, you don't
And
want
I
to
was
hang
like,
that
there's no
stuff off the back of your pack? Just like you're hanging everything off the front?
well, that 70-liter backpack, dude, I had to modify it and put like shock cord on the outside just so I could add extra stuff. I put my seat pad on the outside because it won't. I mean, I can't fit all this stuff in the backpack and make it accessible. So you got to strap it to the outside. And I said, "There's no way, man. This CS40, I'm going to have to use it on a trip where I want to put some miles in, and I'm not carrying everything under the sun with this, 30, 35-pound pack."
I got you. I got you. Well, for me, my pack of choice is right there. It's the Z-Packs Arc Hall, and it's the Ultra version with the Ultra 200 fabric. I've been using it for like 2-3 years now, I think. And I love it. Like, it's still my favorite pack. I haven't used the CS40 yet. I'm eventually going to. But I love this. I just love this pack. I can carry 35, 40 pounds in it if I need that much gear. I can carry that, and it's really comfortable. Shockingly, it shouldn't be. It should be absolutely uncomfortable, but it's comfortable. It's not. The one thing about Z-Packs packs is I think they've got their leaders wrong. I don't think they're as big as they say they are, because I look at some of my other 50 and 60 liter packs, and they're all bigger than that one.
Mhm.
But that doesn't take away the fact that the function of it is fantastic. I rarely ever need 50 liters, and I believe that's a 60. So I rarely ever use all of it. So that's why, for me, I don't use stuff sacks for my sleeping bags or my quilts, because I can just let them fluff out and kind of fill up the extra space so the pack's not too, you know what I mean? So it's not feeling empty when you carry it and shaking all over the place and all that. The suspension on it's fantastic. I love the fact it's got daisy chain areas on it, so I can connect things, because I'm a fanny pack person. I don't like side pockets. They're never easy to open. Like I don't know how people. I can never find a side pocket that I can open with one hand well. Like either I can
Mhm.
open it well, but I can't close it well, or I can close it well, but I can't open it well. There's never one that does both well. And so I'm not a big fan of side pockets. And that's my only concern, I think, for the CS40, is that there's not a great place for me to hook up my fanny pack to it. So
Mhm. Yeah. Who's your fanny pack through?
it just depends on which trip I'm on. I use different ones. If I know there's a good chance it's gonna rain, I always use my Hilltop Packs one. It's also made of ultra fabric. And I've got like a couple Dyneema ones. Also, I've got the face pack
Oh my
that
gosh.
everybody loves. If you're not watching right now, I'm holding up my fanny pack from Hilltop Packs. It has my logo on it, but then Jeremiah's face is all over it as well. So we've talked about it on here before. But if I'm going on a trip, this is the one that's made out of this one's Dyneema, I believe. And so I'll use this one if it's going to rain, because I know I'm not going to have to worry about stuff getting wet. But if it's not going to rain, actually my favorite fanny pack's a little heavier, but it's from Chicken Tramper. They have a great fanny pack setup that they've made, and it's super easy
Dude,
to use. I really like it a lot, and it's got a lot of room in it.
so the one backpack that I got that doesn't have hip belt pockets, but has a hip belt,
Hmm.
is my Chicken Tramper, because we had them on the podcast, got a relationship with them. I
Right.
think they sent some packs and stuff, and I said, well, if they're going to let me customize it and I don't have any packs, you're always wanting to try something different,
Yeah.
just see what it's like. And even though Mr. Backpacking with Jason, sir, will make fun of me for having a fanny, I said, I am going to try it out on this pack. And I did. I guess, like Hilltop packs, you can buy different hardware so you can strap that fanny pack to different backpacks as long
Right,
as
right.
it has the daisy chain set up and stuff.
Yep.
So they kind of got a setup that is similar. You strap the hip belt and then you strap on the fanny pack over the top of it. And I got to say, having the little, it's like mesh lycra pockets in there, but it's stretchy,
Mm-hmm.
so you can keep stuff organized,
And
and it has a
separated.
big
Yeah.
yes. So what I do is I take that fanny pack to the lake with me. Like, we live real close to the lake, and I got an e-bike, which reminds me, it's plugged up right now. I need to unplug it.
I need to plug mine
So
in.
you need to plug yours in and juice it up.
I do.
Well,
I need to get out on that thing.
I'll take that right at 5 minutes down to the lake, and I'll take the fanny pack. And I have figured out you can fit a speaker, an adult beverage, and a couple of other things in there if you really want to. And then I can ride down to the lake, put on my giant straw hat, fanny pack in tow, hands free, ride the bike down to the lake. Got everything you need to go for a little swim. They do the fanny packs right, man. I'm highly satisfied with that one. And I don't hesitate to take that backpack because of it.
Yeah. Well, and then also we were talking about shoulder things and stuff you take with you on your pack as well. I don't use the Garmin InReach. I use the Zoleo communicator. And so I usually hang
Mhm.
mine on my left shoulder. And then I'm getting ready to try this thing out. Have you seen these by Kanak? They could make
It
the
looks
Vecto
like
bags.
it looks like you got a straw attached to it or something.
Yeah. It's made so you can put it right here on your shoulder. It's a soft bottle, which I like those. They're really light, but you can put that there and I can just drink out of it really easy without having to even pull the bottle out. But it's stiff, so it doesn't like flop over and hit you in the face or anything.
Yeah, and Miyagi on the trail, he made a design kind of like that with a stiff straw and a piece you can bite down on and to
Yeah.
drink through. I wonder if they stole that design from him.
I don't know, but
Maybe he stole it from them, or it's totally unoriginal.
it may be the same company that's using it. I don't know, but I really like this. I just got it not too long ago and haven't had a chance to get it on the trail yet, but I have been using one from HydroPack for a while that has a straw connected that I like. But I'd like this shorter kind of stiff straw that's on here
Mm.
just for the reasons I was telling you, because it's going to sit here, but it's not going to be in my face or hit me in the, like doing this the whole time. So
Yeah, those soft bottles, they seem pretty popular in the running community.
mhm.
I get that one's a 1 liter, I would assume.
I think it's just a shade of a liter. It's 17 ounces.
Okay.
So
I don't know. 1 liter is 33.8 fluid ounces.
yeah, it's not a full
So
liter.
it's like a half liter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I
Yeah.
really like them. I like the one I have from HydroPack is a 1 liter, and it's been great. But I wish this lid would, or this thing would fit on it, but it's the wrong thread size. Let me see if we can get that to look there. It's the wrong
Oh,
thread
yeah.
size because it's the 42 millimeter on my HydroPack, and this is like is it 28 or something like that?
Yeah,
So
I think so. 8
so
or
yeah,
24.
something like
Now,
that.
that does solve the problem on the bladder, because that is basically a little bladder,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
Some people use, like, a 3-liter bladder, you put it in your backpack in that little pouch, and then it has, like, this really long tube coming out
yeah.
of your backpack. So that solves the problem of not knowing how much water's in that bladder, and I
Right.
like that.
Well, the other thing I
So
like about it is it encourages me to drink more often because all I have to do is like take a quick sip and I'm good. I can just keep going. When I was always putting them in my side pockets, I'd have to stop because I can't reach them. So I'd have to stop, take off my backpack, pull out the bottle, take a drink, put it back on. And so what would happen is I wouldn't drink as much water. And
Yeah, so
so
inconvenient.
my T-Rex arms were damaging my ability to hydrate properly. So it was one of those things. If I was hiking with somebody else, I would just say, "Hey man, you can't make my bottle," and they
Mhm.
would hand it to me. I'd drink, and they'd put it back. It wouldn't take as long. But if I was out by myself, which I do a lot of, solo trips, um, it's just a pain in the butt. So having something like that's going to encourage me to take a little sip every once in a while as I'm hiking, and stay more consistently hydrated, as opposed to just dropping a bunch of water all at one time.
Well, let me ask you this. You're backpacking with somebody and you all hand each other your water bottles. Like you stop, you're walking down the trail, you're talking, you stop, you turn to them.
Yeah.
Hey, can you mind handing me that bottle? And then the other person a lot of times is like, yeah, can you get mine too? So how many times for you, or generally speaking, does it take for you to be like, there's no more communication in that traditional sense of hand me the bottle? Now it's just like a known fact. Is it days? Is it the second or third time you ask them? Or because like my wife and I, we're pretty synced up. Of course, we've been together, 13, 14 years. But
Right.
if we're walking on the trail together and we stop, each of us will turn and you'll just automatically grab the bottle for each other.
Yeah.
So, and sometimes it gets like that if you're on multi days with friends and you're doing what you described.
Yeah.
So, how long would you say, generally speaking, or for you, to where it's like a just an automatic thing? You don't have to be like, "Hey, can you hand me that?"
My buddy Josh and I, it's pretty much easy. Like we've done a lot of trips together, so we'll say, hey, you want water? Like, yeah, and we'll stop, and then we just do it.
Sync up, man.
That's pretty consistent. That's pretty easy. Of course, now that I'm using these other bottles, I don't really think about that anymore because I don't need that. The only
Mhm.
other thing I might do is I may stop and then switch out the water and just pour the water into this, and you know what I mean? Like grab one of my back bottles, pour it into the bladder. So when I drink all that, I've got water for the rest of the trip to drink.
Yeah.
But
Well, my alternative, remember, was the little it's basically a little cup holder on your shoulder strap,
yeah,
right? You
hmm
stick your bottle in there. Carl's alternative is the Aqua Clip. He's a big fan
he
of the
loves the Aqua
Aqua
Clip. That's
Clip.
his
Yeah.
favorite piece of gear on the planet. Now
So,
you were talking about camera clips earlier, and
yeah.
this is actually the camera clip I use. I don't know if anybody, most people don't know about this one. It's called the Beetle Clip. It's by PGY Tech. You know how a lot of them they have those little screw things that you screw in.
Yeah.
This thing is way better. Check this out. This
Looks
one,
like it clamps on.
yeah, this one, you got two different widths. You can make it kind of like that, or
Uh-huh.
you can make it wider for like a really puffed out uh, shoulder strap, and then it just clips into place with this little clip, and all you have to do is clip it into place and tighten it up, and then it's held together. Way easier than trying to like screw these screws in and stuff. I found like the screws thing could just be frustrating at times trying to get that to work, where this thing goes on in like 5 seconds.
Yeah, that seems like it's very easy. And then I guess if you use, probably most people listening aren't big content creators, they're just backpacking.
Yeah, but
But
there's a lot of people
if
do
you do,
photography, when they go
yeah.
backpacking, taking pictures
So
and stuff.
if you do that kind of, excuse me, if you do that kind of stuff, that camera clip is great. And, the striker plate that it's using, if you have a little tripod that uses the same system, then you're eliminating pieces of gear.
And
You
that's
have
exactly
multi.
what I do. Yeah, the tripod that I use when I go out, if I take one, is it's only about this tall. It's not, I don't use a full size tripod, but that little guy uses the same clips as this, made by the same company, and you can actually there's a mode on it where you can actually like hang it off of a branch on a tree, so that
Mhm.
you could set it up in different ways, which is really cool. Yeah, PGY Tech. I mean, we're not sponsored by them. We're not gonna make any money off of it, but I love personally their stuff is like my favorite stuff. If you're into photography, videography, any of that kind of stuff, they just make really easy to use gear. So that's if I'm actually filming a trip, which that doesn't happen often with me, but if I'm actually filming a trip, I will have that with me, and that's where my camera will be sitting.
And you showed the Hilltop packs, the bag there.
Yeah.
Dude, I had to finally throw away my food bag after my last trip. My Hilltop packs.
Yep.
I don't know, it's like what's the stuff that's made of? It's got like a plastic lining on the inside, but it kind of peeled off.
Oh,
So I
did it?
guess those just wear out over time. And the problem is that it's still usable even without whatever that plastic film is on the
So
inside.
yours
But
delaminated.
Okay, so there you go. That'd be a good way to describe it. So
Yeah.
the problem is that if you keep using it, water gets in between the lamination and whatever the fabric is that it's made
Mm,
of.
yeah. Well,
So
mine's got a
and then
slice in it.
oh, what
I don't know.
happened?
I don't know how it happened, but I've got like an actual slice in it. So I'm gonna have to. I've got like 3 bags from Hilltop Packs. So I've got one that's a little more heavy duty Dyneema from a few years ago. I'll probably start using that one. I used it when I did Pictured Rocks up in Michigan. Everything back like 2021 to
Mhm.
about 2022. I used it for that, and it's pretty robust. So I'm probably gonna start using that one again.
Yeah, I switched over to my Light AF bag, but
Ah,
it's not as big as my Hilltop bag. And the problem with that is I like to bring a lot of food, dude.
yes you do. Yes you do.
A lot of food. And I took that little solo trip not too long ago, and I looked in my food bag, and I just got I mean, half the food bag is taken up with stuff that's not even food. If you bring a skillet and you bring like an egg holder, I brought an AeroPress Go.
Yeah.
I brought my
I like that
my
you're using the AeroPress, man. Your coffee game has stepped up.
yeah, dude, the AeroPress Go. Now, I did a sponsored video with them
Yeah.
and everything was great. But when I use the AeroPress Go, I typically will make 2 cups of coffee because they ask me which AeroPress are you wanting to do. They wanted me to use this AeroPress something. I don't remember what it's called. And I was like, well, I don't know if I want to carry that on the trail. What if
Yeah.
I use the most compact one? And they said, yeah, sure, whichever one you think is best. And so they sent it to me. I tested it out, decided to make the video, and then I was like, yeah, this only makes whatever 6 ounces of coffee, 5 ounces of coffee. So I make 2 cups with it every single time, and it is so much better than the instant Folgers.
You
I
know,
mean, it's like a million times
I'm
better.
I'm gonna tell you, man, I use it at home. Like,
Oh,
as a
the
matter of fact,
AeroPress.
yeah, because I mean, I've got a little hot water kettle, so I'll boil water.
Uh-huh.
It doesn't take long to make it. And now that you're saying this, we're doing multiple videos today. So I'm probably gonna do one between episodes. Now that you've said that, now I want to go make an AeroPress of coffee because it really is one of the best ways to make coffee. So again, not sponsored. Just love AeroPress coffee. It's so good. So
Yeah, if you haven't heard of it, it's kinda like a French press, but it's, like, simple. It's very, very simple.
yeah,
You're just pressing the coffee through or pressing the water through, and
it's
it
so
makes you a
good.
little coffee cake.
Yeah, it does.
You know what
It
I'm
does.
talking about?
Yeah. And it's
Yeah,
great.
so
I tell people all the time, I'm like, if you've got a fire
mhm.
and you do that, just put your grinds in the fire. Your grounds in the fire.
Yeah.
Just burn them up. You don't have to, like, people talk about packing them out. Well, you don't have to pack them out if you burn them up. It's
Mhm.
and they're not polluting. There's no pollution when you do that. They're just
No, it's actually kinda like fertilizer. If you're a composter, then you can keep those little coffee cakes and use them for compost.
yeah. But I usually just put them in the fire and burn them up and no fuss, no muss. So,
Yeah, and also, if you're taking it on the trail, they give you the little well, I don't know much about makeup, but there's like a little makeup container. It's like a circle, and you open it up. It's got a mirror on top, and then the little spongy thing that you pat your face
yeah, I see
with.
my wife use those.
Yeah, I have
We don't
I've
know what that is.
literally
That's I
I
feel much more manly today just for this right what's happening right now because both of us are going, I don't know what that thing is, but it's plastic
I
and it's
don't know
got a
what it
mirror and a spongy thing.
is. Yeah, I know how to describe it. I don't know what its purpose is or what
No clue.
or what it's called. But AeroPress, they send one of those as part of the kit, but it's not for makeup. It is to put in the little coffee filters.
Yeah,
So
little
when
disc
you're on
filters.
trail, it closes like a little clam, right? And
Mhm.
then all that system fits perfectly together. It's pretty
Now,
amazing.
do you know what I do to save a little bit of weight? Is I just grab however many filters I need for the trip, and I put them in
Yes.
in my Ziploc with some other stuff that I've taken with me, so I don't have to carry that plastic container with me.
Oh, you're a smart guy.
So it does save a little bit, you know. It does save a little bit. I also don't take the stirrer with me because I've already got a
Uh-huh.
spoon. So I've got my camp spoon, so I just use that to stir it as you're getting it to go down. So yeah, I shave a few things off of it just to save a little bit of weight. Um,
Dude,
but yeah,
I am so lazy. I just don't even think about it. I don't think about how much it weighs. I don't think about how much my total backpack weighs. I'm just like, "Well, this seems like it'd be convenient. Throw it on in there."
there you
And
go.
then
Well, I don't even take the cup. Like when I take it, I literally just take the plunger, whatever that apparatus is. I just take that part. I don't take the cup. I don't take the spoon. I don't take the filter container because I've got a coffee cup. I've got my coffee mug I like to use, and
but
I've
how
got
do
a
you
pot that I can pour the water in it
what do you press it on
onto
to
onto my coffee mug.
Okay, so the AeroPress, it fits perfectly on the coffee mug, like, it inverts, and then you
Hmm.
can press down, and the lips, like, fit perfectly because
Yeah,
it's
It
engineered.
fits on. Yeah, it fits on my GSI mug that I have.
Okay, I'll have to try it on my GSI mug because I care so little about the weight that I bring the GSI mug. I bring the whole outfit with a little rubber thing that holds it
Yeah,
all
because
together.
if
I
you
mean,
if you just bring the plunger part and some extra
uh-huh.
filters, it's only a few ounces. If you bring
Okay.
the cup's the heaviest part because
Yeah, the cup is
that
the
plastic
heaviest
cup
part.
is heavy. So if you just bring just the plunger, it's really light. So I'm a big fan of just bringing the plunger and using that when I go backpacking. But you can use the whole
Well,
thing. But I learned because the rubber lid too is heavy.
yeah, the rubber's heavy, and I'll tell you this, I even bring the little scoop for the coffee. I bring it all, baby.
That's
I
hilarious.
bring the makeup kit, I bring the scoop, I bring the stir.
Now
My
I've
friends
brought
love
the scoop. I have brought the scoop because there's something to be said for having the exact right amount of coffee in there.
this.
Now,
Yeah.
if you're going to be a coffee
It
snob, you really do need to be a coffee snob, and that's a good way to be a coffee snob.
yeah, and I
So,
also do 2 scoops.
hey,
I
before
felt like that wasn't enough.
oh, really?
I do a double scoop, yeah.
You want to be woke
Eh,
up in the morning.
well, I've got 2 different coffees to bring on trail with me so far.
Yeah.
One, I forgot, I'll make a list whenever I'm packing and everything, and I try to put out, put all my food in order on the list, and I go buy it, just straight to Kroger, and I can mark it off the list as I go. Well, I forgot to get just some coffee grinds. So I called Bridget. She was on her way home from work. And I was like, "Can you stop and get me some?" And of course, she was almost home. So the only thing she's going to pass is a Dollar General. I know, predictable. So she
No,
goes
we
in
live in
Dollar
Kentucky.
General.
There's one in every town. So,
Dude, they just built two next to each other on my way to work. I mean, they are a quarter of a mile apart.
and they'll be busy, both of them.
Yeah, and there's another a mile the other way, and another a mile the other way. I mean,
How do you know
they're
you live in the
everywhere.
South?
There's Dollar General
There's Dollar
it's
General
right.
everywhere.
Well, she stopped in there, and Dollar General doesn't have exactly the largest selection of ground coffee, just fresh ground coffee,
Oh, yeah.
and, she had to go with the regular Dunkin' Donuts. It was either
Now
that
that's good
or the
coffee,
Dollar
though,
General.
man. Dunkin' Donuts
I
is
thought
good
it
coffee.
I thought it was alright. I thought it was alright, and then I went to Kroger on my next trip and got some Seattle's Best, and it was okay.
Not a big
It's
fan of that
okay.
stuff.
It's like
That
it
that's reject Starbucks, right?
well, to me, it tasted like if there was bottom tier, mid tier, and high tier, it was halfway between bottom and mid.
Yeah, it's literally owned by. I think Seattle's Best is owned by Starbucks.
Did Starbucks start in Seattle?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd say you're right then.
So I'm pretty sure. I mean, I could be wrong. If anybody knows, they can leave a comment or whatever. I'm pretty sure that that's like their low end coffee.
Yeah, I mean that makes sense. I'd have to give it a quick goog.
Now I'm gonna be honest with you.
Is
What I do, Jeremiah, and I would advise you do this, but you're a man. You can do whatever you want with your life. You don't have to listen to my advice. But what I do is I get all my coffee whole bean, and then I grind what I want. So when I know I'm going on a trip, I'll grind up, whatever coffee I want for that trip, and I'll just grind enough that I have for each day. And then at the end of the trip, I don't have any grounds left.
So
That's what
what
I do.
do you do? Individual Ziploc bags?
No, I'll put all of the coffee in one, but I bring the scoop with me.
Oh, okay.
So I know I've got the right amount for each cup.
I got it. Well, I
So
Googled it. Let me read it to you here. Nestle paid $7.1 billion for the rights to Starbucks, Seattle's Best, Teavana, and I don't even know how to say that. Trefazione Italia, another brand Starbucks acquired when it bought Seattle's Best.
so
So
wait,
gaining full control over
so
a coffee
Nestle
brand.
owns Starbucks?
They own Starbucks, Seattle's Best, Teavana, and some
Yeah,
blah blah
Teavana's
blah.
good.
Yeah, I don't know what Torrefazone,
I'm not worried
T
about
O
that
R.
stuff.
Yeah, I don't know what it is, but you know, Nestle. Whenever I was doing the Camino, I found that Nestle is a bad guy. My German friends were not a fan. They were like,
Really?
This is like an evil corporation, like an overlord corporation." Yep, the chocolate villains, Nestle.
Of course, Germans are gonna say that. They're like hardcore about the chocolate, dude. You don't mess with German chocolate.
Yeah, isn't Nestle a? I know it's a European country.
Yeah, it's not a European country.
I
It's
mean,
I was gonna say, man, I want to go live in Nestle. That's where I'm gonna go move to.
Nestle Deutschland AG is a German subsidiary company of the food multinational company Nestle. It's one of Germany's main food companies. Yeah, I thought Nestle is a.
Wow, I didn't know it was German.
I could be totally wrong.
I thought it was French or something just because of the way it looks.
Yeah, I bet it is French because we were in Paris and there's like a giant Nestle company. What country is Nestle from? Switzerland, Veve, Switzerland, Vivi,
Switzerland.
Veve.
Oh, that's why the Germans hate him. Germans hate Switzerland.
What country is Nestle
I don't
from?
know that. I'm making that up, by the way. I don't know if Germans hate Switzerland. I just totally made that up. So I can't keep that going because somebody's gonna take it seriously and then they're gonna be like, "Man, did you hear the backpacking podcast said that Germany hates Switzerland?"
It does say, yes, Nestle is a global multinational operating in 188 countries, is listed on the Swiss Stock Exchange. Their headquarters are in Vevey, Switzerland.
Huh?
So I could be
Interesting.
totally.
So
says
there it
less
is,
than
right there,
2%.
dude. So German chocolate versus Swiss chocolate, and that's
The ultimate showdown.
that's like territorial battles right there, man. When those two things go together.
Well, we covered a spectrum of topics on the show today.
Yeah, we did. Well, and I was gonna say before we get done, I want to say let's both plan on in the next couple months doing some trips with that CS40, and then let's give our unfiltered evaluation of it.
All right.
Like
Yeah,
this
I'll
fall.
try
Like
that.
let's plan like in September ish to have a CS40 episode and talk about the backpack and our likes and our dislikes, and you know, hopefully Outdoor Vitals will still sponsor us after that.
Yeah, I really like the dislike portion of the episode.
I will say there's very few things that have come from Outdoor Vitals that I haven't liked. So I am interested though. I've been wanting that pack for a while and just hadn't pulled the trigger on buying it. Now that we've both got one, I kind of want to get your opinion and I'll give mine and we'll see what happens.
Yeah, that sounds good to me, man.
Yeah.
Fun unpacking some backpack. Well, different backpacks, different accessories for the most part is what I'm a big fan of.
Yep, me too. Well, and then next week, we're going to be talking about shelter systems, and we're going to hear a little bit about you from a trip that you went on recently, doing some overlanding kind of stuff. Is that safe to say?
Yes, good little tease there, John. I did recently do a little overlanding trip, and we're going to talk about some of the amazing adventure that happened, dude, because it was epic and there was a lot of mud.
It's always the best trips. Always
Yeah.
the best trips. Well, man, I'm looking forward to next week. But until then, we will catch you all on the next one.
Adios.